Holtzler. Dean, I see you. I spy you, my friend. I spy you. Miss Darlene, I see you.
Hello.
Miss Mann, I see you. So wherever you're coming in from. Oh, Mr. Swordlet in the house. Delaware in the house. I see you. I spy you, my friend. Oh, I spy
Hi,
you.
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago in the house. All right, Chicago in the house. Amazing. As you're coming on, say hello. Well, hello, Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach in the house.
In New Jersey.
Miss Darlene, I see you.
Hello. Irvine, California. Hello, everyone.
Oh, Mr. Swordlet in the house. Definitely have a little bit of echo, so let's see if our team can kind of manage the muting around this stuff. This is going to get wild very soon. So, hey, everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Super excited to be with all of you. We're going to go fast and furious because we want to respect your time. This is going to be super fun. Mr. Ed Stulak from New Jersey is here. He's going to crush it with us. This is awesome. Cass, Miss Marks is here as well. This is awesome. All right, we'll give everybody like 30 seconds as you come on. We're going to go. I'll give you all a couple of instructions right away. There is a good chance that if some of your friends start messaging you saying that they can't get in, that's okay. Just know that we're also live streaming on YouTube with a live streaming link. So when someone goes on the page, it'll say if this is full, click here. So FYI there as well. We got Hawaii in the house right about breakfast time. So appreciate y'all chiming in. This is going to be fast and furious. So another 30 seconds. We'll get everybody coming in. As you come on, say hi, say hello. Mr. Stevens, I see the background. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I spy you. I spy you. This is awesome. You know, my daughter doesn't say I see you. She says I spy you. And I don't know what that means, but I say I spy you too. Pritesh, do your girls say I spy you as well? No, they don't. It's must be a California thing. Awesome.
George.
Hector, man, Tua, that was like that past game was wild.
Yeah.
Wild. All right. It was wild, man.
It is what it is.
It was wild. We have everybody from Francis Rosado team. Look at the full conference room. Francis, good to see you. Jose, good to see you. What's up, folks? It's awesome to see all of you. All right, if everyone's cool, can we give me a one in the chat if you're like, Sharon, go, let's go, because I have to say the one and we're all good to go. Fantastic. We're good to go. Awesome. So here's what we're gonna do. Team, let's I'll do a quick spotlight and then I'm gonna kick it off because we want to stay respectful of everyone's time. Oops, sorry. This is me. Okay, cool. Remove, and I'm gonna go off of me for a second. There you go. Awesome. Thank you. You're gonna see my fat face for a second, but we're gonna get kicked off. Hey everybody, super excited to be with all of you. We are here for a very special session of Real and Real Connect. We have many of our friends and our guests here, so we're very glad that you're here. We're gonna do a super fast recap of the Rise conference that we just had less than 10 days ago, and the feedback, the energy is still riveting through the Real ecosystem. And what we're going to do today is we're going to try to compress 2.5 days into under 2 hours, and we're going to go really fast. So I want to get your permission on this one thing. We are going to go no fluff, but very casual. All right, no fluff, but very casual. So you're not going to see a production-based thing here. We want to just compress all the information and give it right to you. So no fluff, but very casual. Number two, you're promising to use the chat because we'll manage audio and etc. But you're promising to use the chat because the more you can see, the more you can feel overall. And number three, you can say whatever you want, but be collaborative, work hard, be kind. So that's our important rules for today. So quick feedback and recap on Rise. This is our second annual conference bringing the entire Real community together. We had a great showing in San Diego. We had several of you as our guests attend as well. And we had several Real agents that were not able to make it. So we are wanting to actually show you what we're doing. So by the way, some of you may see that this may be a little fuzzy. So don't worry about it being fuzzy. I'll zoom in and zoom out and make it nice and big for you. So nothing for you to read. All right. So should be just fine. We're going to compress 2.5 days in under 2 hours for you today. And that's kind of our promise. And you're not going to be able to read many of this, but I want to read a couple of these to you. But this is what Mr. Adam Graham said. Adam said, "I'm sorry, but wasn't that the most incredible 3 days I've ever experienced? I had high expectations, but we were blown away. Cannot wait for next year." There's a great cast said this, which was like, "Hey, I've never felt so embraced by a work community before. I will never regret my time to join Real." Right? It's pretty powerful where I'll tell you this. This was my favorite. It says, hey, what can I say? How is every other brokerage going to compete? Now, here's how we think about the world. Our job is not about the competition. Our job is about the collaboration. Our job is to allow you to see and feel the things that we're building every single day for you. So this is going to be really wild. So I want to start with this announcement that we made at the conference. This is what launched everything. Super excited that we are one of the fastest companies to be able to be in all 50 states overall. So anywhere and 4 of our largest Canadian provinces. So if you have friends at Real that are in any of the 50 states, we are open for business in all 50 states. Nebraska was our 50th state that we launched right at the conference, and this was featured in Times Square. So super big kudos to all of us, which is fantastic. David won a $20 for that. That was amazing. Here's the 3 things that we're going to talk about, because I said it was going to be fast and furious overall. So we're going to talk about 3 big things. Number 1, we're going to talk about some game-changing stuff that we launched that will change the way how our industry works. Number 2, I want to talk about some business-changing stuff where it'll change the way as to how you actually do your business. And number 3, I want to show you some life-changing stuff, which will show you how to change the very financial bloodline of your family. Those are the 3 kind of things we're talking about. Now, there is no fluff. Here's the structure for today. Structure for today is we're going to summarize everything for you. And then whenever possible, we're going to do a live demo for you. And then whenever possible, we're going to tell you how to get it right now. Everything that we launch, everything that we're sharing, everything that we're doing is available for you right now. And so we want to make sure we share all of that with you. So to me, did I get a note? Everyone good? Okay, cool. So Tamir's going to share he's going to change the way you think about everything. So Tamir Prolog, our founder and CEO, is going to share the way you change the way you think about everything, which is going to be awesome. My main man, Pritesh Damani, is going to change the way you think about business overall, because your business is in the palm of your hands. Our CMO, Dre Madden, is going to change the way you think about brand and marketing overall. And our CFO, who's amazing, Miss Michelle Rustler, is going to change the way you think about community and what it means. It's not about the money you make. It's not about the money you keep. It's actually about the money you invest back in your community. And then I'm going to show you how to change the way you think about your clients, which is going to be really, really fun. So I need your permission right now. To go fast, right? So if you give me permission to go fast, give me a Y in the chat. Oh, give me the one. One works too. Mr. Riggs, I see you. Give me permission to go fast. Okay, we're going to go super fast, all right? The way I'm going to go fast is if you are not at Rise, you're not going to be able to realize. So I'm going to take the next 60 seconds and give you the fastest agenda recap at Rise ever, all right? This is going to be super, super fast. Here's the first one. I'm going to give you day 2 all the way to day 1 in reverse. So day 2, we finished up the conference with the neon party. And if you have not seen pictures of that and me actually firing a smoke gun, it was pretty wild. Number 1. Number 2, we finished off the day with a celebration because we had a great celebration of awards and honors, and it was super, super powerful from a celebration perspective. We had on day 2 insane breakouts, which our breakouts were so full that they were not just standing room only. They had to close the doors because we were so full in all of our breakouts. It was insane. The number 1 health and performance coach in the world, Justin Roethlisberger, actually showed us how to manufacture energy in his keynote. He actually coaches NFL teams, NHL teams, big time CEOs, and he was there to create this as well. We had Byron Lazine, the co-founder of BAM, who actually moderated a panel for us with other Titans who are not at Real. We are one of the first companies that actually invited other people on our stage to actually share and collaborate with them. So great time with Titans. Many of you know and were there for Alex Hormozi, who is probably the number 1 influencer and business celebrity in the world right now. And Alex did no other keynotes this year. And as a personal friend of ours, Alex actually did our keynote. In fact, it was super well received. Alex showed up in a flannel shirt, but we had our very own Alex Hormozi as well. So many of you know my good friend Bob Tompkins, who crushed it on stage with us. So it was fantastic. Our Layla Hormozi actually did the launch of our $100 million roundtable with a really private launch. So all our teams at Real who are doing 100 million plus, we kicked off a $100 million roundtable overall. So here are the 4 things we kicked off at Rise. Number 1, $100 million roundtable. We're launching a Zillow Flex Mastermind for everyone at Real. We got this down market playbook and the attraction accelerator that are coming that I'll tell you about as well. So that was day 1. Let me give you day 1 in reverse, and then I'm going to hand it off to Tamir. All right. Day 1. Tamir closed out the day with the launch of our military division, and our military division, if you are in the military, actually had Work Hard, Be Kind real challenge coins made, which was insane for everybody, right? Pritesh and I, which I'm going to show you this, Pritesh and I did a session on how to actually get Richard real, and we called this the wealth plan. We call this the wealth plan, and I'm going to show you how to do this in a live demo today. We had the operating secrets of mega teams. We had billions of dollars in production on the stage, and they showed you exactly how they built their teams, which was absolutely insane. Our tactical breakouts, as always, were completely full. And so we had an insane number of people in the breakouts. I built out, I'm going to actually show you how to do this today. I actually broke down the entire listing presentation process, page by page, frame by frame, book by book for everybody. And I'm going to give you a sneak preview of that as well. We had a little riot about that. We had the CEO of Place, Ben Kinney, and Tamir have an insane discussion where it was free consulting for everybody on stage, which was awesome. Mr. Kofi Narti, the Two Taps and a Beast, created an insane mindset event for us and created an awesome way for us to all kick off the conference. Kofi did a kick-ass job for us on main stage. Dre launched a completely new brand and marketing toolkit, and you're going to get to see a lot of pieces of that today as well. And Pritesh Jedi Damani launched a bunch of features, which Pritesh is going to give you a live demo of today. And most importantly, how do you start anything without the man himself, Mr. Tamir Pollack? But here's I want to show you something. There was this text that I got, and I want to read this to you. And it's going to be a little fuzzy, so I'm going to read it to you. And this text said, "Hey, bro, is there any way I could speak at Rise? I did submit an application." And you know this is real because he texted me again. "Hey, bro, is there any way I could speak at Rise to submit an application?" I said, "Thank you. The team is doing their best. We got over 1,000 applications." And then he says, "Dang, sorry, man. You're going to have to apologize to a lot of people." And then I said, "I wish I had a 10-day event. Tamir only has 20 minutes. You know what he said? The lion only needs 4 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited to invite my good friend and partner to the stage, Mr. Tamir Pollack.
Thanks, Ron. Hi, everybody. So here's my 4 minutes. So we're trying to compress 2.5 days into 2 hours. There's one thing we cannot replicate, and that's the Neon Party. And if you know, you know. But let's go into business. The next 6 months are probably going to be the most challenging in your career, in your entire career. And why am I saying that? There are 3 main factors affecting affordability, housing affordability. One is home prices. Home prices are high, affordability is low. Second is mortgage rates. Mortgage rates high, affordability low. And third thing is wages and employment. If your wage is not increasing enough to catch up with the monthly mortgage payments, obviously affordability gets lower. If you look at today's housing affordability, they're actually below the 2007 levels. So 2007 was the mother of all real estate bubbles. It's more difficult to buy a home today compared to 2007. This is how severe the situation is. And this is why I'm saying that the next 6 months are probably going to be the most challenging in your career. Mortgage applications today are 50% lower compared to 2021 peak, and 75% lower compared to the 2005 peak. Those are just outrageous numbers. And you probably feel that on a daily basis. Historically, on average, there are 5.2 million homes sold every year. In 2023, we are on track for roughly 4.1 million. So about 22% lower than the annual average in the past, 20 years or so. But as you know, the market is cyclical, and we need to look at different past cycles in order to try and predict what's going to happen, because everybody wants to know, okay, when is this going to improve? When are we going to make a little bit more money? So let's look at the past. Between 1999 and 2006, so 8 years, it was an upcycle. There was a surplus of 5.4 million homes sold versus the average. That cycle was followed by a down cycle between 2007 and 2015, which took 9 years. And during that cycle, there was a deficit of 6 million units sold versus average. So an upcycle of surplus 5.4, a down cycle of deficit of 6 million, and then again, an upcycle between 2016 and 2021, an upcycle of 6 years in which there was a surplus of 1.6 million units sold, and current down cycle, which right now is at around 2 years, 2 years and 3 months. And up to now, we have a deficit of 1.3 million units sold. So there was a surplus of 1.6. Now there's a deficit of 1.3, which leads us to think that a drop in home prices or a mild recession may be the best thing that could happen to all of us. So real estate agents are the one segment in the economy that's currently hurting the most. The economy is strong. Everybody's doing fairly well. It's just us, our industry, where volumes are down 25% or 40% compared to where they were in 2021. And we need a recession. We need mortgage rates to come down. We need more inventory to come into the market. We expect to go back to the 5.2 million homes sold on average annually back in 2026. So not next year, not the following year, only in 2026, we will go back to 5.2 million units sold. But it doesn't mean that next year is not going to be better and 2025 is going to be even better than 2024. We do expect the market to pick up in about 6 months from now. So if you can hang tight, just put your heads down, continue to work, things will get better next spring. And that's our prediction based on historic data and everything that we're seeing in the market. But again, let's try and focus on what we can actually control, because we cannot control the market, we cannot time the market. What we can control is how we help you run your businesses and get more value from Real. So today, when you're closing a transaction, you're getting paid, the money goes into your bank accounts. When you're receiving a rev share payment, a title JV distribution, the money goes into your bank accounts. When you're receiving an equity grant, that goes into your ShareWorks account. What we announced at Real Rise was the Real Wallet. The Real Wallet is a product that we are launching in the first half of next year. It's going to be a digital wallet for each and every one of you that will incorporate or hold all of the assets that you have at Real. So you close a transaction, the money goes into your wallet, and then you can decide what to do with it. You either transfer it or wire it to your own account. If it continues to sit at the wallet, we are now working on a way to actually pay you interest on the money that stays with the wallet. But if you're asking, okay, I've got some cash in the wallet, I don't want to transfer it to my own bank account, how can I spend it? We are going to give each and every one of you a debit card. And through that debit card, you can actually spend that money. And if you actually use the debit card, you earn points. And those points will allow you to offset the brokerage fees and transaction fees that you're paying Real. So at the end of the day, there might be a situation in which you will end up paying 0 fees at Real if you use the debit card. So that's kind of a huge thing, and no other brokerage has it, because no other brokerage can actually build something like that because of the vast infrastructure that we have with our software. But that's not all. We look at everything that you're building at Real as your assets. So your past transactions are an asset. Why are they an asset? Because past transactions can allow us to predict how your future production is going to look like. And that way of predicting is an asset in our eyes. Your pending revenue is an asset because this is cash that will be paid to you in the coming days, weeks, month. Revenue share obviously is an asset because it's predictable. We know that we can count on X amount of dollars that we will need to pay to you in the coming month. Equity is an asset. Title JV distributions is an asset. So you're building assets on top of our platform, but very often you cannot tap into the value of those assets. You cannot turn them into cash or into something that you can actually leverage in order to continue and build your business or make some purchases. This is why in the first half of next year, we are launching the Real Credit Card. The Real Credit Card is a way for us to give you a dedicated credit line based on the assets that you have at Real. So the more production you have, the more rev share you have, the more equity, the more title JV, the more engagement, financial engagement you have with Real, the bigger the credit line will be. And you will have a credit line and a credit card through which you can actually spend those assets that are currently not liquid. And yes, this will be FDIC insured. It'll be like any other bank account, but this is going to be huge because it will allow you to continue and grow your business. Even if a transaction is delayed, it will allow you to be more predictable with how you spend cash or how you spend in general. You will just have a dedicated line of credit to your business. And many of you know that if you go into a bank right now and you tell them, hey, I'm a realtor and I need a line of credit, they will say, okay, thank you very much, but we cannot do that. At Real, we can actually do that. And again, the benefit, if you swipe the credit card, you earn points, and those points will offset your fees at Real. So that's the Real Wallet. We're extremely excited about it. This is something that has never been tried in the industry. We are the first company to do it, and we're probably the only company that actually can do it, just because of the software that we have and all of the systems in the background that we have built, our proprietary technology. Super excited about that. Now back to you, Sharan.
Awesome. Thank you, Tamir. I don't know if you all kept up with that. Essentially, the Lion did all of that in 4 minutes, which is amazing, right? So Tamir is fantastic. We have thinking about the outlook of the market and how it's important for us to be resilient, to stay strong, because when you know what is coming, you just know what to do. That's number one. Number two, we've got the Real Wallet, associated Real debit card, associated Real credit card for a credit line in your business overall, and some more cool things coming your way too, with all the points going to helping you be cost neutral, with Real being the most economically efficient model that there is on the market right now. So super excited to be with all of you, and thank you so much, Tamir, for sharing that. This is what we talk about, game-changing stuff, right? So now let's talk about business-changing stuff. Business-changing stuff is, hey, what are the tools and what are the technologies that you can have at your disposal that allow you to run your business better, business smarter, and business more smoothly? For those of you who don't know my partner, Pritesh Damani, Pritesh is a total Jedi. And the cool part, the most amazing part about what Pritesh does, he's able to see what we all use on a day-to-day basis and only build that, all create that. And so super excited for Pritesh to share a few of the innovations that we've built and bring it to market right now and over the next few months.
Awesome. I'm going to quickly share. I've got 20 minutes, right?
Kill it, man. Here we go.
Can someone confirm that you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
We see it.
Yes. All right, perfect. Okay, I'm also going to go fast. So at Rise, the first thing we did was we launched our sneakers. So many people were wearing sneakers that even I was confused. I was on stage and thinking maybe I need to launch a sneaker or something. Anyways, all jokes aside, this is what our growth looks like, right? And before we even go into talking about what we do, like, what do we launch and what new cool stuff are we building, and you can see like something blurred out here, because that was a right slide. I want to zoom out a little bit. We started working on our complete new technology set in February 2021, right? Then we launched Reason 1.0. Then we launched Canada. Then we launched Reason 2.0. We launched Real Signature. Then we launched Leo. And now you see new stuff we're launching. What you can really see here is the time compression at the end, right? What does that mean? That means that all the stuff that we built in the beginning is paying dividends off right now, right? All the little Lego blocks that we built, all the little commenting systems, the activity feeds, the little document upload that you see, all the little things that we built, they all add up to becoming bigger and bigger and better systems, right? And they kind of have a compound interest or a compounding effect on the whole thing, right? So this is something I always like to zoom out every 6 months to see if we've made progress. It's easy to be in the day-to-day and say like everything sucks, but when you zoom out like a year and 10 years, everything is changed, right? So let's go in. So we launched Revenue Share Insights. From the beginning of time, people have asked me, can I get better way to look at my revenue share, right? And we of course had reporting. We of course gave you, Excel sheets and stuff like that for you to like kind of download and analyze it yourself. But this is already live. A lot of you probably have looked at it already, but here's an all new revenue share. What you're seeing right here is an easy breakdown of all your tiers, and a lot of stuff is blurred out because Michelle wouldn't let me show everybody's data, but you can see an easy way to look at all your tiers, right? You can swap between your tiers, so you can quickly jump between your agents on your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Not only that, you will be able to look at a zoomed out effect, right? So you can look at your paid earnings, your referral, your your contributions by tier, everything in one easy dashboard. This is also on your cell phone, right? So this is also on your cell phone. You can look at it as a different view. You can zoom in on it, right? Let's keep going. So you can click on like these days, week, and then like you'll see the pie change, and like you'll see how much money did you make today, yesterday, whatever, right? We want to this business model is all about creating, generational wealth, in my opinion. And how do we do generational wealth? Is rev share. Commissions you will do month to month, and of course your business will grow over there, but rev share is generational wealth, right? So we want to make sure you have visibility to understanding rev share in a meaningful way. Let's go to step deal, right? You're looking at like this bar chart that tells you every month how much you've spent, how much you've made, and how much you've not made. Here's the best part: missed opportunities. So we've added a new section in the rev share called missed opportunities. What this tells you is that if you had unlocked your tiers, this is how much money you would have made. And hopefully this is incentive enough, because it will be for me to see, oh my God, I lost $5,000 last month because all I have to do is add one agent to my tier 2, right? So that's an easy way for you to look at that. Keep going. You see those little bubbles on the top? Those are badges. And we're giving out everybody badges for starting with like just learning about RevShare. If you learn about RevShare, you will be taken to a section where Sharon teaches you everything about RevShare. You've learned it, you get a badge, right? After that, we've started getting creative around this, and we've added a lot more badges. I had a really good joke that I could do on stage, but I really can't do virtually. I'm not even going to try. So, but hopefully there's a recording out there somewhere that you'll look at and appreciate. There are different badges that we give out when you unlock your tiers, when you've hit your 250 rev share. There are super sought out badges that hopefully everybody gets in this company at some point in their life. Next topic. Again, I got 20 minutes. I got to roll. The next thing we did was we finally launched our OneReel app. OneReel app is our consumer app. So all the investment that we have done so far in building technology, it was all in the service of you, the agents. Now we're taking a step further. We're going to launch technology that will make you look like a superstar. So what are we launching right now? It's actually already live, but at Rise, it was live on that day. We already have this, but let's keep going. The whole vision was that agents are always at the center of the transaction, and Real has Real Title and Real Mortgage, and agents in the middle, the brokerage, title, and mortgage, right? We always, saw this as a 360 circle of like what happens to the buyer. A buyer gets a pre-approval and then goes through the life cycle of the journey, and this is the journey that we want to finish, right? But Rome wasn't built in a day. So what are we launching? What have we already launched, right? This is in the App Store. In the App Store, an agent can go to the dashboard today, invite a buyer to get pre-approved. The buyer will receive a beautiful email that will look like this saying get pre-approved, like your agent invited you. You can even call our ORM team, like our mortgage team, and they will invite the agent for you if you want to, but you can do it from your phone right now. The buyer will get a beautiful email. The buyer downloads the app and starts walking through it. And we ask them very simple questions, and we streamline the whole thing, and we're guaranteeing a pre-approval within 24 hours, right? So it's a beautiful app. It's very clean, very professional, makes you look like a superstar. They'll answer a bunch of questions, and it's basically a 1003 in many ways. Like if most of you who know a 1003 application, it's a mortgage application and it's very detailed. We ask all the questions, but we're trying to make it fun. What happens after that? We ask the buyer a little bit more about them. Like, what are you looking for? A single family? They can input all of these information. And obviously what's going through your mind right now is like, how do I know where they are, right? You are being kept abreast of, right? The Reason app will keep you up to date on where your buyer is and where your borrower is and how far they've made it, right? At some point, we ask them to enter the W-2 information, how much money do they make, right? All that kind of stuff. And this app will get smarter and smarter. It will connect to different income sources, different places to download these documents, so we don't even have to ask these questions anymore, right? And this is now in the wild and is already getting pre-approved. Like many people have already gotten pre-approvals on this, and Samir's and the rest of the OneReel mortgage team is already running with this. What happens? Once you've gotten the application in, the buyer can now seamlessly talk to our team, call them, text them, email them through the application, through the app. But at the same time, they get an email saying you're pre-approved, you're good to go. You can download the pre-approval, and the agents can now you guys can now look in your Reason app. You will be able to see this. You'll be able to see all your buyers. You'll be able to see where they are. You'll be notified when they are pre-approved, right? It's available now. Leo 2.0. That's the next one. So when we launched Leo 1.0, we were the first in the industry to use AI in real estate in a meaningful way. Let me define what meaningful is. You can go to ChatGPT or any of the GPTs out there and say, make me a listing presentation. Nothing new, nothing special. It just prints out a listing presentation. You can say, can you add an Algarden? Can you add some more description? It will make it nicer and nicer, right? Most real estate companies are basically connecting third-party AI engines to their app and calling it AI. We were in a fortunate situation where we built everything from ground up. What does that mean? We can answer very specific questions like, am I capped? How much did I pay this year? What fees did I pay? Everything, like who's my broker? And it will answer specific questions to you. But this was Leo 1.0. And with Leo 1.0, what ended up happening is agent had to ask these questions. And Leo got smarter. And that's Leo 2.0. So with Leo 2.0, you've already experienced this and maybe not even noticed it, but Leo is now suggesting questions to you guys. And this is really, really amazing because we already see the results. By the way, the usage of Leo has tripled since we launched this thing, tripled. And I think that's not a good enough job. We're actually investigating why it's not more, right? But Leo is now capable of suggesting questions to you before you know. It's even smart enough to give you incredible details. For example, when you say, what are my upcoming closings? It's not only give you, these are your upcoming closings, but it gives you details inside of each of these closings, and it tells you exact numbers and whatnot, right? Make it even more further. You can say, what's the status on something? It will give you the address. It will say, hey, a valid CD was created by this person and it was approved by the broker, right? You can say, am I missing something? Here's the best part. You'll notice how I didn't even spell out the whole address. You can actually misspell. You don't need to type in anything. You can say, am I missing something on 123 Banana Street? And it will literally type out exactly what you're missing. It will literally tell you in your item checklist item number this, just fill this up, or you're required to do this, or we are waiting on the broker, or you have nothing, missing nothing. We got it. Leo is capable of answering most, if not all, the questions. What can it not answer? It cannot answer a question like, hey, is this offer written correctly, right? It doesn't do that yet, right? So that's where your broker comes in and reviews your stuff and helps you figure things out. But it will answer basic stuff, right? You don't even have to go through the interfaces. You don't have to click through different things. You can just ask Leo for everything, right? You can even say something simple like this, who's my broker? Of course, you know this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload all the things that Leo said you're missing, right? So here's our interface. Most of you know what this is. It's just really fast uploading all these documents. And the reason we did that is I want to show you what happens after you've uploaded the documents, right? So now I uploaded all the documents. Let's go back and ask the same question. But this time you go in the comments and you say, add broker, I've uploaded everything. What am I missing, right? Leo is now slowly going to start intercepting these questions and start responding in place. So you don't even have to invoke Leo. It's listening to all the conversations that you're having and it's learning from it. And it's going to tell you all the things you need to know, right? If you haven't given enough time to the broker, I understand there's anxiety around every real estate transaction. It knows the SLAs. It knows the return times. It knows the urgency around your transaction. It knows your closing dates. It's going to escalate for you. And it's going to get better over the next few months. So something that you might have already noticed, we're forcing everybody to do at mentions is because we've streamlined everything inside our own operation, right? And now everything is getting streamlined inside of us. So the less emails you use, the less text messaging you use, the better the SLA, the better the response time from our team to you, right? You can ask questions like, where's my money? You can ask questions like, what do I need to do to get my CDA? You can ask my questions like, what do I need to do to get this transaction closed, right? Favorite Canadian question. What do I need to do to convey this transaction? You ask this question, you will be surprised. I guarantee you. Try it on your Canadian transactions. You will be surprised on what the response is because it is extremely thorough. I saw a place where it literally said, your buyer, John Doe, is missing a phone number. You don't need to ask our team anything. If you want to save time, go to Leo and say, how can I convey this file? Last but not the least, I want to thank everybody who has been a part of our Tech Night Watch. Without you guys, we would not be able to be here. We cannot think about everything in my lab. I cannot make decisions in my lab. Our product managers can't do anything without your input and your feedback. For people who've been in this group, you know that we listen to everything. You know that I comment and our product managers are slowly commenting on everything that you type. Sometimes the answer is I can't do it. Sometimes the answer is not today. And sometimes the answer is great idea. Let's do it now. But at least you know it's getting heard by someone. So I cannot thank you enough for being part of that group. If you want to contribute to the technology of this company, you want to contribute your ideas, join this group. It's called Tech Night Watch. We accept everyone. We have strict code of conduct, obviously. I don't want it to be a giant support forum, but it's a fun group to be part of. Last but not the least, 2024, in my mind, I call it the rise of real. And I'm trying to hashtag this, but I'm not getting enough support from Sharon. Rise of real. This is the year when we rise. So far, what we've built, I am proud of it. Everybody in our team is proud of it, but it's table stakes. In my world, this was what was needed to do business. It wasn't, yes, we built our transaction platform. Yes, we built our own signature platform. Yeah, AI is cool and it's like our first innovation. It's truly something new. But 2024 we will build things that nobody's ever built before. Literally nobody. And I'm not saying nobody can build it. Of course they can build it, but they will have to build everything we built. And what are we going to do in 2025? That's what you got to think about. Thank you. We saved 10 minutes for questions, Sharon, just in case,
It's so good. You know what we'll do? We'll take a minute. If you all have, if you have questions on Tech Night Watch, there is a group on Workplace, and there is when you click on it, it'll give you the rules around it, so you'll know exactly how all of that works. So we'll take a second, and because Pradesh actually bought some time in his presentation, which is amazing. He's good like that. If you have a question or a thought or something for Pradesh, I'll ask you something, which I think will be really good. You talked about this very briefly, and maybe you can just go into this quickly. It's fair for us to say that, hey, we are fortunate to have, and I think about it as us being fortunate as having the gift of this, being fortunate to where we can innovate a lot right now. And I want you to just reiterate why other people can build it, but why will it take time? So I know you showed the curve, but if you could just reiterate on that, because I don't think it's a farce for us to say that we're the only ones to do it. Other people can do it, but a lot of the other things have to get done. So if you could just make a reference to why those early building blocks are important.
Well, it takes two things to build great technology. One is super aligned thought process, right? So the fact that we all have alignment on what we have like a 5-year blueprint, and Tamir can tell me if I'm wrong, but we haven't actually changed the blueprint. We set up a blueprint and we're just executing, right? And one of the things I was saying at Rise was at Real, the experience is so different because you're trying to build the perfect building or the perfect palace in the middle of an earthquake, right? It felt like that for 3 straight years, right? And you're just hoping that the earthquake doesn't get to the stuff that you're building, right? But finally, I feel like a little bit overground, right? Like a little bit like where I feel like, okay, we can really think far. So that's one. 2, people. Most companies hire people to do a job, right? What happens is those people join the company, they set a strategy. They go, oh, I'm going to reinvent this whole industry. To reinvent the industry, you need 2 things. One is time and one is grit. Most people don't have time and grit. They're not willing to persevere. They're not willing to say, okay, I'm going to take 7 years out of my life and just do something meaningful, right? And this industry, right? It is demanding. How do you have clarity of thought? So that's 2. And then our strategy, which is if we have a clear path on what we want to build and what does the company look like in 5 years from now, and if I have the trust of everybody on our team, like you, Tamir, Dre, everybody, right? Where you have the patience to let us build the Lego blocks. What's a Lego block? And I'll explain that. In our app, we have a way of commenting, right? We have a way of @mentioning. We have a way of looking at activity feed. We have a way of looking at checklist. We have a way of assigning those checklists something. We have a way of signing. These are little Lego blocks that you build over time. Now, did anybody notice that they actually signed a new ICA using real signature? Imagine how much time we just saved. When we launched that feature, we didn't have to build anything. We literally took our own real signature, we slapped it into a modal, and we said, okay. And with that modal now that we just built, that's another Lego block. Next time you want to sign a signature, it's even less work for us. And that's why that graph goes like this. And we can even dream of building things like the real wallet, right? Or Leo. Imagine what Leo can do, like with your listing presentation in 5 months.
Don't give everything away, bro. Don't give everything away. So here's how. So big kudos to Pritesh and the team. Everything that Pritesh talked about and shared today is live. Revenue Share Insights. When you go to your main dashboard, you'll see a little block on your revenue share. It says Revenue Share Insights. You hit the button, and it'll take you into the whole Revenue Share Insights. So Revenue Share Insights are live. Leo 2.0 right now is live. The consumer app is live, and all the badges are live. Everything that both Tamir and Pritesh talked about are live right now in your app. So for some reason, if it's not glitchy and taken out, just log out and log in, but everything should work just fine in your app. Everyone should be live right now. Cool. Awesome. One thing that Pritesh and I got a chance to do at Rise, which was one of our favorite sessions, was we got a chance to share with you on how to get rich at real. So Pritesh, if you would, I'd love for you to stay on for just a minute as we talk about this one. How to get rich at real was a very, very important topic that we thought that Pritesh and I were like, how do we actually get this out to all of you? And I want to take 1 minute to share this with you because I think this is really important. And because this goes to the heart of being at real. And I know this may be a little fuzzy, so let me actually take you through this. So I created this framework called, on the 5 levels of relationships. And whenever you spend some time in this, I think this will really help you. So spend a minute with me. Level 1 of relationships are the ones that you hang out with and you talk about the past. Level 2 are relationships where you actually hang out with people and you talk about other people. Maybe you gossip, maybe you talk inspirationally. It doesn't matter, but you're talking about other people. Level 3 in the relationships is when you talk about ideas. When great visionaries get together, they talk about great ideas. I'm in a couple of mastermind groups where we talk about a lot of ideas. They don't do anything, but we just talk about a bunch of ideas. That's cool. It motivates you, it inspires you, but you don't do anything, and then it gets very frustrating. So you talk about ideas, but it's really positive because it shows you a bigger and better future. Number 4, I love real for this big reason, because of our mastermind effect. Every week we do 40 to 60 mastermind calls a week that are run by our top agents and top network leaders on the execution of things. Like Bob Tompkins is like, what is working right now? Tim Macy is like, what is working right now? Joe Herrera is like, what is working right now? Katie Day is like, what is working right now? Dean Aguilar is like, hey, here's what we're doing with our Zillow Flex team right now. And so the execution component is super inspiring because it allows you to take action much faster. But I'll tell you where we all kind of struggle. When we are not in level 5 relationships, where we can't be with people where we talk about money and meaning, stuff gets really difficult. Like what did Tamir launch with? He said, hey, the next 6 months are going to be tough on your income. He's talking about money and meaning. When he says, hey, we're going to take the financial future of your family and all that and put it into a wallet to give you more opportunities. What is he saying? He's like, hey, I want to be in level 5 relationship with you. I want to talk to you about money and meaning. When Pritesh says you get these revenue share insights and there's a gray bar that says you are actually missing this amount of money, what are we doing? We're talking about money and meaning. The hard part is, if we don't talk about money and meaning, how are we able to actually transcend these level 5 relationships? These are super, super powerful. And so a lot of what you're seeing here is the idea of transforming money and meaning, right? And so when you plan right, there's 3 ways in which this happens. 1, there's no plan and you just work really hard. I'm telling you, a lot of us, I'd say even a third of us do this. Hey, we just wake up and we just work harder with no plan. It works most of the time, but not when the economy is against you. The second is a business plan, right? And Pritesh will always tell you the business plan tells you what to do, but a wealth plan tells you what you can become, right? But a wealth plan is super important. And that's what I want to show you. I want to show this to you live. But it's super important because a good business plan tells you what to do. But Pritesh, I want you to comment on this one. With a traditional business plan, this is what happens, right? Hey, it tells you, hey, let's do 10% better than last year. We can't do much in this market, so we're going to reduce our goals. Oh, every business plan, by the way, every single business plan tells you to do more. There's no business plan that ever tells you to do less. Every business plan tells you to do more. Business plans are static. They have no tracking. You don't know where you are. And here's the most important thing, as Tamir shared, it's like assumes you can work. What happens if the music stops? What happens if you get sick? What happens if you're in, what happens when that happens? What happens to your family? Pritesh, when you think about these things and the wealth plan, like, is there a thought or an idea that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, I mean, like when we were conceptualizing this thing, and like the ideas kind of changed over time, right? We wanted this to be alive, right? We wanted this to be trackable. We wanted this to be something that breathes on its own and gives you alignment on, like, say you have an X year plan, like 5-year, 10-year, 15-year plan on your career, and what your, not everything is measured in money, but like, say for wealth, what is your wealth plan? Like, what do you envision yourself to be in 5 years, 10 years, right? We wanted this to breathe. So from day one, it was supposed to be quote unquote live, right? So I'm not giving everything away, but
No, that's perfect. So here's what I'll do. If it's cool with you, Pritesh, I'm going to take everyone through a live wealth plan right now. So if you're good with me taking you through a live wealth plan, can you give me a W in the chat so I know that you're tracking with me and it's all good? Live wealth plan, amazing. Live wealth plan. So I'm going to share my screen, Pritesh, and if you see me miss something or you want to share something, please do in this. I'll just get my screen share working. All right, awesome. All right, we're going to do the wealth plan. We're going to do this wealth plan live. So you should be able to see my screen. I'm live in Reason right now. And if you look to the bottom right here on the left, you'll see this thing called wealth plan. And when you click on it, if you have not logged into your wealth plan before, it's going to look something like this. And I want to take you through building this wealth plan. I want to show you 3 really important things that every single one of you need to do. And by the way, this is live in your account right now. So let me take you through this. The idea of the wealth plan is to say, in the next 5 years, if you put all your components of earnings together, call it the 9 ways to make money at Real. If you put all the components of learning together, what does that goal look like? So this is what this says. It says, hey, right now, clearly, I don't have any transactions, right? So because I'm in an account. So it says, hey, in the next 5 years, what would you like your goal to be? What is your real wealth goal in the next 5 years? If you put all the areas in which you can make money, call it from your team, call it from your commissions, call it from revenue share, call it from your stock, call it from your stock purchase plan, what is it? So I'm going to come up with a number. So I want you to see how this works, right? So I'm going to say in the next 5 years, I would like to make, $2 million. Like I want that to be my calibration. So I'm going to say get started. Here's what this goal setup does. It takes you through a very, very short goal setup. This is not long. It's only 7 questions. It takes you to a very short goal setup. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to do 10 transactions a year. And at a $600,000 price point, that's going to be, $6 million in transaction volume. So I've got target sales volume of 6 million. Am I going to do the stock purchase plan? Yes, I'm definitely going to do the stock purchase plan. By the way, I will tell you right now, this is just my personal opinion. You're crazy to not do the stock purchase plan because Real turns around and actually gives you the bonus in stock. So I'll actually show you exactly what that means. And then you can say, hey, talk about attraction. Well, I'm going to attract 5 agents a year, and then they're going to attract another 5 agents a year. So I feel like I have a pretty good network. I'm definitely going to do Real Title. So I'm going to maybe buy 3 shares of Real Title. I do have some additional Real stock. So I have about 10,000 shares of Real stock that I bought outside of Real. And then in 5 years, where do I think the stock price would be? So I'm just going to pick a number. So like, let's say it's going to be just under $10, right? So when I click my plan, this is what you want to see. What you want to see is a couple of really, really powerful things that all happens in real time. This real-time understanding of this is where the most powerful thing is. The first, let me take you through the first bucket of this, which is, it says you're on track to reach your goal. Most of the time, we don't even know if we're on track to reach our goals, right? It says, hey, my goal is 2 million, but my projected earnings is 2.1 million. But here's the crazy part. The crazy part about this, and by the way, you're going to see a couple of these bar charts. And if you want to know what these bar charts are, click the eye icon. It actually tells you how the bar chart is structured. So you know exactly how this means. There's a lot of feedback and innovation coming on here. But in the commission income alone, I'm only projected to make $764,000 in commission income. This is the power of the 9 ways to make money at Real. This is the power of having multiple streams of revenue and multiple ways in which you can create assets, right? Otherwise, if I had to make $2 million, I had to significantly up my production. And what did they say? Hey, Sharran, go sling more houses. That's fine. You should do that because we are a production-based company. So you should go do more of that. But could you utilize what you already do to make more to hit your goals? Could you do that? And I think the answer is yes. So imagine if less than 50% of my goal is actually in the traditional bucket of commission income. How amazing is that? So you may say, all right, Sharran, well, how does that work? So based on this plan, we've broken down what is for commission income, what happens in pre-cap stock bonus, what happens in your stock capping awards, what happens in your post-cap. I've not even unlocked elite agent production awards. How does this work? And this is all over a 5-year period, and it tracks year over year in a projection over a 5-year period. And it tracks revenue share. And so if you actually click into one of these, it shows you it shows you live with your active commissions right now. So if I had active commissions right now, it would say, here's what happened in 2024, here's what happened in 2025, here's what happened in 2026, and I would get a net projected commission value. So the best part about this is you can adjust the plan, but it doesn't make your business plan static anymore. It makes your business plan deeply dynamic, which is super, super important, because now you always know where things are in this process. Right? So now you may say, well, Sharran, I'm not 100% sure of all these other things. I came here to sell real estate. I've been doing that. I've attracted a couple of people, but I've never really spent any time like learning the stock program. Give me a number 2 in the chat if you feel like you don't understand the stock program really well. Just give me a number 2 in the chat where you're like, I would be great if I understood that. Yeah, totally. So this is amazing. We have so many of us. The reason we are not doing this, the reason why a confused mind stalls, thank you so much for sharing, because now you're like, hey, wouldn't it be amazing to understand the stock program? Tony's a 1.9, which is amazing. So let me actually give you this. So here's the best part. For you to understand all the pieces of the puzzle offered, wouldn't it be amazing, instead of you having to look in a different way, we could give you all the information, right? So here's how this will work. So look at this commission income box right here. I click view details. And when I click view details, a couple of things happen. One, I actually break down with a video on how to make more money at Real. It takes you through each of the commission splits. It takes you to the splits and the fees and breaks down all of it right here for you. So now you can say, okay, cool. If I'm a 12 agent, I have 12K cap, I have a 6K cap. You know exactly what the split is and how it works. So now you know exactly what happens in commission income. Now let's talk about pre-cap stock purchase plans. So if I click on this, it says, hey, this is really simple. You can contribute up to 5% of your commission contribution pre-cap, and Real will match 15%. And the maximum contribution based on your cap structure is this. And so now you know exactly what it is. And you can also see an example, because Real actually gives you an example of saying, hey, Agent Sally sold a $400,000 home and received $10,000 in GCI. And it breaks it down exactly what that means. So now you don't have to go learning and trying to figure out what it is. You know exactly how to figure this out. Then you can say, hey, I get these stock awards for capping. What does that mean? You click on this button and you're like, awesome, Sharran's going to tell you, but here's how it means. You cap, you get shares. That's it, right? So now you're like, oh, cool. If I cap, I get shares. That makes a lot of sense. So now you know each of the capping breakdowns associated as well. So it allows you to see everything live. Here's the post-cap bonus. You're like, oh, I don't really understand how the post-cap bonus works. Awesome. You can contribute. You can contribute up to 10% of your commission contribution, and Real matches you 30%. But by the way, I don't know how else to tell you. When we say Real matches you 30%, Real gives you like 30%. Like, this is free money, right? You're crazy not to do this. Even if you just turn around in a year and sell that, like, you are crazy not to do this, right? And then Elite Agent Production Award. People are like, well, Sharran, I don't understand Elite Agent Production Award. Well, it's really simple. It says, how do I become an elite agent? Elite agents are our highest production status. They unlock $16,000 in a stock award. In fact, if you break down the economics of an elite agent, we actually pay you to be at Real, because that's how much we appreciate you. And it tells you exactly, hey, these are the 2 ways in which you get the Elite Agent Award. So now you know exactly what it means, right? And then there's the Elite Agent Cultural Award. This is another way to make money at Real. So if you contribute to Real, either by teaching in the Real Academy, or you contribute to Real with community service, and those activities are pre-approved, we turn around and actually give you the Elite Agent Cultural Award as well, which is super powerful, because now you get to know exactly how that works, right? And then my friend, by the way, check this out. How many of you agree? Just give me, give me a number 7 in the chat if sometimes you are confused as to how revenue share works. Just give me a number 7. Awesome. If you're confused as how revenue share works, or co-sponsor revenue share works, any of you like thinking about that? There's a lot of 7s in the chat. Yeah, there's so many of us, right? So thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate your vulnerability around this. But let me show you how this works. So you should spend 5 minutes doing this, and you should click the revenue share income button. And then you can say, here's how it works. Well, they show you. We say, hey, you are agent in tier 1. You got an agent in tier 2. You click a button, right? And it tells you exactly what happens. It tells you how the revenue is split and how the revenue share happens. And then you click tier 3 and it tells you how the whole thing breaks down. Then you click tier 4, tier 5. Like I'm going to click tier 5 right now. Check this out. I want to show you something. In tier 5, it says, hey, your tier 4 agents make 500, 400, 300, 200, and it breaks the whole thing down. So now you have a chance to actually see where the money went and how it got paid, which is super, super powerful, right? Super powerful. Now, what's even more powerful is if you're an analytical type person, it has all of this in a graph and chart format, so you can see exactly where this is as well. Now, what's even further is it tells you where the capping wages are. And many of us talk about co-sponsored revenue share. We're like, hey, how does this co-sponsored revenue share work and how does it break up among people? Well, now we break that down as well. We say, hey, here's how one agent receives. Here's the 2 people that are sponsored. And here is how it breaks down overall. Now you have a chance to see how all the pieces of revenue share work that you can educate yourself, and you can feel really good about this too. A lot of the main questions that are asked when it comes to revenue share is the grace period, the agent, what an agent capping exactly means, in the participation fee. You get to see all of that. And we're fully transparent in everything that we share in this overall, right? The most important part of this, and then you have the title joint venture, which takes you through exactly how the title joint venture works. But I want to pause and saying, until we as agents of Real understand this piece of the puzzle, it's going to be very hard for us to explain this to someone on our team or somebody else that we're thinking about inviting to Real in some way, right? We are not in the game of sleazy attraction where you send out 400 million text messages and try to get somebody into a room and try to like pre-sell them on a private Zoom. That's not what we do. Our job is to give people the vehicle. Real is the vehicle, not the destination. And we want to say, hey, would you be open to having a conversation and show you how I did it for myself? And maybe some of those learnings are right for you. Let me take you through it. Now you're sharing this overall. You have to take it. But by the way, a slide deck, if you're taking somebody through a slide deck, it's like 1997. Who looks at a slide deck anymore? Like, are you crazy? Like, you want to say, hey, let me show you. You want to bring you if you're attracting Tamir to Real, you're like, Tamir, can I jump on and show you the back end of my system? Can I show you exactly how I did my wealth plan? And then maybe we can talk through how I did mine and if it's of interest to you. Now Tamir is like, that's cool. He's actually going to show, he's going to be like, Sharran's going to show me his wealth plan and I can put myself in his shoes. Your job when you get on with somebody is to take them through this. This is your attraction conversation. This is not even an attraction conversation. This is a communication conversation, right? Because now you can take them through each of the pieces without saying, let me flip through each slide of the deck, because this is live, this is real, and you can go back and forth asking questions, right? The interesting part about what doesn't happen in slides is this. There's no, like if I go into Stock Award for capping, there's no like frequently asked questions. There are no terms and conditions. You can't go through any of this, right? And that's what's super, super cool. Now, let me pause. Imagine this. Imagine hey, if this is good so far, can you give me a number 7 in the chat? So I feel like that was good and you can use something like this. Okay, awesome. Super, super cool. I'm so glad that you guys are into this. This is fantastic. So imagine this. So let me ask you a question, Ms. Peters. Let me ask you a question, Anne. Let me ask you a question. Let's say you and Tamir get on a call and Tamir's interested in Real. And you're having a conversation with Tamir about Real. And you say, Tamir, you know what we should do, Tamir? Let's actually build out your plan. Let's say you want, and Tamir's like, oh, I want to do 3 million. You're like, okay, I want to do 3 million. Great. And then you tell Tamir, how many transactions do you do? Oh, I do 20 transactions a year. Cool. What's your target sales volume? Tamir says 16 million. You're like, awesome. And then all of these things exactly update. And then you hit the goal. Well, this is great. So you can say, hey, Tamir, your goal was 3 million. But when you are at Real, just with this math, you will make 3.75 in our progression. And Tamir's like, well, how does that work? And then you take Tamir through all the pieces of the puzzle. And then what's going to happen? And you know what Tamir's going to say? Hey, can you send me the plan? Because here's the interesting part. Renee asked a good question. Is this an earnings calculator? No. Calculators are 16 years old. Like, a calculator is what you did at TI 85 in college. Like, stop with the calculator. You need something so much more. This is not trying to figure out the square root of pi. This is trying to figure out your life and your wealth. Like, you got to do so much better. Decks and calculators are dead. Don't ever use them. Our life needs to be so much better, right? So now what Tamir is like, he's like, hey, Sharran, can you actually send me this? And I say, no problem, Tamir. I'm going to send you this. And then I click a button and the entire wealth plan gets sent to Tamir. it actually looks like, here's what his structure looks like. It shows him all the assumptions. It shows him the 5-year projections, right? And then it shows him the notes. It shows him me, who I came from, right? It shows him all the ways to make money at Real. So he can self-diagnose all of this, right? It shows the pieces of the puzzle and the stock price and all of this. Now, you may ask any questions. So you're probably asking me 2 questions right now. Question number 1 is, hey, when Tamir gets this, is it stuck or does he have to come back to me to adjust details of his plan? No, as soon as Tamir gets this trackable link, he's going to be able to click and update his plan himself. Now he gets to work with his plan and update his plan himself. And here's the best part. Every time Tamir changes and updates his plan, you get a notification that Tamir changed and updated his plan. Now you know that Tamir is playing with his plan, which is really, really good. None of these fields are locked. You can change anything. This is your plan. This is your wealth plan. This is your guide. This is your future. You can change any of these things. And now you may be asking me the second question. Hey, Sharon, this is really interesting, but I already did my wealth plan and I can't see a send plan button yet. That is correct. I'm not going to give you the send plan button yet because I know what you're going to do. You're going to take the 400 people that you have in your contacts. You're going to upload them all up and you're going to send everybody wealth plans. Not going to do that. What we're going to do is Pritesh and I, right before we launch it, is I'm going to give you multiple ways on and give you some ideas and training on our suggested approach on how to do this the right way, the kind way, the real way, right? That way we don't start spamming people with wealth plans. So as soon as I do a mini training on that for you in the next few weeks, Pritesh and the team will turn on the send feature for you. But the best part about the send feature is it'll also evolve because Pritesh committed to me that he's going to build a Traction CRM associated with it. That way, you know, I sent a wealth plan to Tamir, I sent a wealth plan to Dean, I sent a wealth plan to George, I sent a wealth plan to Dre. Oh, Tamir opened it 4 times. George never opened it even once. Imagine the power now, right? The power of this is not just saying, hey, come join me. The power of this is saying, hey, come take advantage of this opportunity, this vehicle that could change your life forever. Now you get to be the purveyor, the vehicle of sharing that something amazing with them, right? So that is how this works. So if you like this so far, can I just hit a P in the chat for Pritesh? Because he totally crushed this one. And I'm so grateful for him because he's awesome. Pritesh, you got a thought?
Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, this is perfect pitch. Like I can't literally you're better at this anyways, but here's one thing I'll say. This is a wealth plan, not a wealth blueprint, right? So yeah, you know, when you do this thing and when you're creating a plan, you could be like, how do you come up with that number, right? Or the commission, like that doesn't make sense. You made a wealth plan for $2.2 million and you made 2. Are you gonna be upset?
Yeah, totally.
I think the goal of the wealth plan is to put you on a track. It's not the accuracy of the plan that matters. I can tell you it's close to accurate, right? But it's not going to be. Life changes, things change. Our plans might change, right? Like things change. So what's important is to take the wealth plan for the crux of what it is. It's a good barometer to understand what Real can do for you and for people who you are trying to attract. So when you use this tool, it's not about, I would not get into a conversation with yourself or with somebody else about the accuracy of the tool. If someone says like that commission doesn't make sense, it's not supposed to be 650, it's supposed to be 600, say, okay, 600. You make $50,000 less. The point is to show them or show yourself the 9 ways of making money at Real, right? And soon 10, right? So that's the idea. So I'm getting a lot of feedback about wealth plan, and we're taking every piece of feedback. We're trying to accommodate. We had like a long call today, Sharon, but like I would say, like when you plan your wealth plan, when you show it to your friends or people you're trying to bring to Real, embrace the essence of it, which is telling a story of how someone could be wealthy, right? It's not a blueprint. It's not like here's a plan, do this exactly. It's not magic, right? All of the data that comes to the wealth plan comes from statistical averages that we have. Yeah. What does that mean? We have so much data now that I can predict very, very accurately what someone's rev share tree looks like based on their activity, right? So we've taken averages and medians in a bunch of places to come very close to what it could be. but it's a wealth plan, not a wealth blueprint.
Yeah, so good. I'll say this one thing. So if you're thinking about, hey, I don't quite get it, here's how I would think about it. Give me, if you've ever used a CMA for prospecting reasons, can you give me, just type the letter CMA in the chat? So I want to see if you've used a CMA for prospecting reasons at any point in time. So I want you to just look at the chat for a second, right? See the number of people that we've all used a CMA for prospecting reasons. And I will tell you why we use a CMA for prospecting reasons, right? The main thing is for two big reasons. Reason number one is if Pritesh is a home seller, I don't have any way of actually getting Pritesh to have, it's an awkward conversation. Right? I don't know how to start. Like if I just go up and say, hey, Pritesh, have you ever had any thoughts of selling? Pritesh is like, well, that's weird, bro. Like you just call me and ask me if I had any thoughts of selling. That's just dumb. And that's actually what coaches tell us to do. Like, don't do that. That's weird, right? It's the grandma rule. Would you call your grandma and say, hey, Grams, have you ever had any thoughts of selling? That's weird, right? You know what my friend who sells life insurance told me? He says that question sounds like when you call somebody and like, have you ever had any thoughts of dying? Like that's what it is. Like so dumb, like never do that, right? So what you want to do instead is you want to send them something that actually gets an inbound. And so what a CMA is to generate a listing or a seller conversation, a wealth plan is to generate an attraction conversation, right? Is to generate a partnership conversation. Our job is not to get them to come to Real. Our job is to get them to have a great life, and maybe Real is the right vehicle for them. We got to do this right. Cool, awesome. All right. Was that good? So here's the commitment y'all are going to make to me. The commitment you're going to make to me today. You saw how fast I could fill out the wealth plan. Your goal is live in your apps right now. Your goal today, before you go to bed, if you have not done it, is to go and at least fill out the wealth plan one time. Just go through the process one time. So if you're good with that challenge, give me a C for challenge. You're good with the challenge, and I feel good overall. Awesome. Pritesh is tracking all you C's right now, because if that's not filled out, like he's going to be like, bro, come on.
Literally looking at it right now. I kid you not, literally looking at it right now to see if the chart went up.
So good. Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep going. We have just a short segment left. I want to bring, before I bring my partner, Dre Madden up, our CMO, we did a super cool brand release and a brand video. And it may get a little choppy to play this, and it's a short one. So I'm going to play it anyway. And so stick with me and I'll give you the full link. But I think it's a really cool brand video. And Dre's going to share a few of the brand assets that are coming right after. So give me 1 second while I pull this up. Cool. Let's actually try this one. This is just a minute video.
At Real, we're more than just a brokerage. We're a real estate experience company with a bold vision and a bold brand. You love Real, and we do too. That's why we elevated our brand to elevate you. Let's build something that changes everything. Introducing the brand you love with fresh new curb appeal. We leveled up our look to level up your business. Let's take you where you want to go.
So good. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hi to my partner and our CMO, Ms. Dre Madden. Dre!
I'm going to unmute myself, share my screen, see if you can see me. Tell me if you guys see what I see. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good, Dre.
Okay, perfect. So that brand video was released at Rise, and it was really exciting to share the new look and feel with you guys in person. We decided in June of last year to dive deep into working with a branding agency that knows real estate very well, that knows branding very well, and really to do a full look into our brand, because we haven't changed anything since 2014, which is pretty much a lifetime for brands and a lifetime for us. It was our entire lifetime. So the first thing we did was really define ourselves. And as you guys know, we are now a brokerage, a mortgage company, a title company, escrow. So we need to think bigger. And we're entering also into the consumer space. So our defining statement is really important. And we locked down on Real being the real estate experience company. We also did this full brand 360, which looked at brand positioning, brand values, framework, visual system, look, feel, tone of voice, all about the colors, the fonts, and you'll get to see a lot of that here. We did not change everything, and we kept the stuff that we absolutely love. So you see here, we kept our work hard, be kind, that is core to us and our values. And we added 2 new ones, which really resonated with us. One was We Are Bigger Than Me, which, as you guys know, we are much stronger as a community, as a collaborative community, versus just on our own in silos. So we elevated that one to be one of our core values, as well as tech times humanity, which really is a lot of what Pritesh is doing, is driving the forces of our technology to not only change to change Real and what we offer to our own agents and our clients, but to change the industry as a whole. And you could see a lot of our innovation coming through as we're the thought leaders in the industry for technology right now. We also developed a lot of new taglines, and you'll see some of them as Sharon has been using. We have elevated the one culture, one network, one Real, and that one is fantastic. It's going across all of our social networks right now. We also added in kindness is our currency, your future is our obsession. Hopefully you've seen those in social shareables. And the new one that you might not have seen yet so far is we want to turn your thing into everything, which is really like embracing you guys and making you as successful as possible and letting you be the best that you can be. And we have a lot more taglines to come. We elevated our logo. So this is a look into our new logo, which has a couple of different variations. So it also has a bracketed logo view, and you can, do not worry, use what you have now. So that's one of the most important things to note, is that this is our future. This is where we're going. And as you develop into the future and have new collateral, new assets, new everything, start embracing what we're showing you, because we're elevating the brand as we speak. But we also wanted to make sure that you know that you don't have to change what you have, because we still love what we have. This is one of the most exciting slides at a convention. I was so happy to announce some of the new colors that we have. We've been pretty limited. We haven't been limited in our colors, but there's been a couple colors that we know you love, like the legacy blue, the white, the onyx, and the chalk. And now we've taken it several steps further to add slate, cobalt, sea glass. The aqua is like our new cyan and coral, and put them all together. And we have new brand guidelines that will take you through how to use the logo, how to use the colors, what colors go together, everything that you can imagine to really build your brand and really elevate it to the next level. We also added we changed our fonts around and have elevated the fonts to more modern fonts. So there's 4 new fonts, sorry. There's Telegraph, Inter, Poppins, and Arial. 3 of them are free fonts, and then the one before the Telegraph is a paid font. You can use all 4 fonts. We wanted to make sure you had a variety of things to choose from. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is this new visual system. It's a bracket grid. So if you think of a floor plan, think of how the lines go across. We're taking our brand and we're elevating it to where you will notice Real, not only from our logo, but also from our assets. We want to make sure that when you're looking at something from Real, you can just identify it as immediately Real, even if you don't see the logo. So this bracket system is really quite cool. And this is how you can see it across numerous assets. So we've got new social assets, we've got flyers, brochures, new pamphlets, and we also have new business cards and yard signs to choose from. But as you see here, the brackets, they're really like, it's not just the line that you see that might go around the thin line. There are brackets within every single one of these examples, and we have a lot more to come. And we are just getting going, guys. This is very cool stuff. Our design team is working fast and furious, and you will see these. I'll share with you where you're going to find them. Here's a view into our new signs. So you can see 3 different signs, different varieties of signs, and we've actually made a matching business card too. And you can mix and match. You can change what you want on the front and the back. Now you can still use your signs. You can still develop the way you would like, but we wanted to give you some new designs to choose from if you'd like to pick these. We're really excited about the ones we've developed. Here's some matching business cards that go with the signs that have the bracket system, the new visual system around it. And where you will find all of this stuff is, we know that not everyone is in Workplace, although we do want Workplace to be, and we have Workplace as an amazing communication vehicle. We want to make sure that everybody can access our assets on the fly, both mobile and desktop, and we want to make sure that they can access them easily. So we've moved our marketing center, so you still will find it in Reason. So open the app, OTA, you'll find it on the left side, just as you'll find the wealth plan, and you find all the stuff that we launched today. We now have the marketing center with all of our new assets moved over, and we have created a DAM, a digital asset management system, where you now have access to the marketing center. Your brand elements will have your logos, the colors, the fonts, everything that you need to build. We even built this very easy quick start portal, where those that are joining, even though they're not a part of Real immediately, they can go in and start building their assets before they start on day one, because we know that people want to kick off and start on day one with their cool new assets. So we've made it very easy for you. All of these actually have our brand guidelines in them, as well as our state-by-state guidelines. Our creative studio, you'll get a little bit of a view into it today with Sharon. He'll take you into the design center. But the creative studio is also really great too, because we have Canva and our design center access. So you'll be able to create assets on the fly, whether they be flyers, brochures, anything you need, your own business cards. You'll be able to create them in 2 different verticals. And the design center that Sharon's going to take you through is MLS integrated, so it makes things very easy for you to publish on the fly. Our brand messaging is there, our swag store, our social shareables. We now have an easy way for you to find it. An easy way. And then we've got the attraction portal coming soon. We have numerous portals actually coming soon. So this is just the beginning of our marketing center, and I'm super excited to be able to share it with you. So remember, go to Reason, go to Marketing Center, and go find everything you need. And our team will be able to help you out as well. So this one is very, very exciting. It's coming in the next few weeks, actually by the end of the year. And it's a lot of work on our team, but it did cause a standing ovation with our brokers when we presented this at Rise, is we will have state-by-state portals. So everything you need for your state. You'll know your broker information. You'll know your state guidelines. You'll see examples of how to build your yard signs, so you don't need to guess. You'll see the do's and don'ts based on your state, and we're doing it for every state and province. So you'll have them all at your fingertips, and we're hoping to get them all done by the end of the year. We had an example at Rise for the California one. And another really exciting thing to mention is we have partnered with Luxury Presence, and we are now offering some pretty slick websites for you. It's a preferred partnership. So it is a paid partnership, but we have customized a new look and feel for our, and they're co-branded websites. So you'll be able to go in, get a discount, and build a super stunning, beautiful website on the fly. And we'll be providing all the information in coming weeks if you haven't gotten it in previous comms. And then I had a drum roll at Rise, and I think some of this is I wish we had our DJ with us, because it's really fun to have the momentum. But if you can imagine a drum roll, this is my drum roll. We will have a new website that is coming by the end of the year. And it is a combined website. We will see an elevated look and feel for all of our services, from brokerage, mortgage, and escrow and title. It will all look like one, and it will be a really cohesive way to see everything in one view. It will also branch you out for consumer and agent. So you'll be able to just go to onereal.com, and from there, you'll be able to find your way to everything you need. So that will be coming very soon. And then I want to pass this off to Sharon inside the Creative Studio in Marketing Center. So you're in Marketing Center, you want to develop stuff, you go to the Creative Studio and you're like, I'm not an expert at Canva. The design center sounds like an easy way that I can design on the fly and be MLS integrated content. So Sharon's going to take you through the design center.
Awesome. Super cool. Great. That was so fun to watch it all come together live. And for someone that's colorblind like me, I have no idea. It looks like you put up a palette. I didn't see anything. I saw 7 grays on one screen. So yeah. Cobalt worked. That's all I got. Cobalt.
But yet you're so amazing at your presentations, and you put it all together so you do it, man. You do it even with your abilities.
I like how you said ability as opposed to disability. That was really
Capabilities.
You would say ability. Tamir would be like, that's a disability. Which is so good. All right. As Dre said, I'm going to take you through something very quickly. I'm going to give you a live demo. So here is Reason. So this is the back end of your platform. I have a few extra things. So on the left panel, you will see Marketing Center. And when you click Marketing Center, it will take you exactly to this site. This is live right now in your system, so you should be able to get this right now as well. So this is live right now. And as you scroll through, I just want to take you through this, right? There are brand elements, so you can look at all the brand elements that you need. There is a quick start guide, which is super powerful. There's a creative studio. So this is what Dre was referring to from a creative studio perspective, social media shareables. There's some brand messaging stuff, all the technology showcase, swag shop, everything in here. So let me take you through building a thingamajigger live. I thingamajigger is not a word, but let me actually build this thing for you live. So I'm going to take you through Creative Studio. Oops, sorry. All right, my mouse just went. So 1 second. Right when you want to do something. All right, here we go. So Creative Studio. Let's create something together. So you're going to see. It take a second to load. So give it. That's why Pritesh and I love doing live demos where we actually had to show you the stuff live. So it's going to look like this. So Dre showed you an image of this, right? So I want to show you where you have a couple of different things. You have property flyers, postcards, brochures, social media, presentations, and compliance stuff. I want to show you how to use one of these very, very quickly. So let's go into start designing property flyers. And by the way, you should be able to do this not just for yourself. You should be able to do this for your team. You should be able to do this in an attraction setting. You need to be able to show this because the more you know the platform, the easier it is to use. So let's say I like this. So I'm going to click on a listing flyer. I'm going to go to this category and let's pull this up really quickly. So let's say I got a few beautiful new template designs. So I'm going to say start design. And you're going to get to a live design builder. And I want to show you the power of actually doing this and the how easy this is overall. So give it 10 seconds while it loads. And what you're going to see on this left-hand menu is like putting a bunch of things in. You can download it, print it, ship it, share it, save it. You can do whatever. So let's say it's giving me this kind of template, right? So I'm going to go to oneworld.com and I'm going to go to Los Angeles, California, and I'm going to click search. And this is the power of doing everything live so you can see the live version of all of these. So I'm going to scroll. Okay, so this condominium right here, this looks pretty good. So this is live. So I'm going to click on it. And as I click on it, I'm going to click the share button. When I share it, I can copy the link. So I've copied the link. Now I'm going to go back to my flyer. Now, did you see this? I'm going to go to add MLS lookup. I'm just going to paste that MLS link in there and click search, right? And then I click the search and see what happens now. What it does, it just replaces all the content with all the live MLS data. So if you see exactly what happened, it took the live photos, it took the live copy, it took the live everything, and it put everything in here live, right? So your ability to use this gets completely transformed. Now you may say, well, Sharon, how do I do this? Well, you can go in here and say, Sharon loves Tamir, right? And you can just do that, which is great, which is, by the way, it's the truth, right? But more importantly, you can change it to anything that you want. And that's why this is really important. And now you may say, well, how does this work? You just click download and you choose PDF and you click download and save, click a file name here, which is, I'm going to say Tamir, and I click download and save, and I'm done, right? Now, when you are able to do this, you're able to generate a flyer or a brochure or a postcard or a social media post so fast and so easy. So if you're a Canva user, go ahead and utilize Canva for something like this. If you want to use the structured designs that we already have, then you can use the structured design. So this just downloaded. So let me actually pull this up on the screen for you. So this just downloaded live on the stuff that we just built. It'll take a second to load. So you see.
And Sharon, let me just mention, this is all free for all of our agents to use the design center. We wanted to make it really easy for you to build assets on the fly.
Yeah, so good, Dre. So by the way, this is all live right now. The design
And
center.
these are our new templates, all new designs.
So
And
all
we'll be
new
adding
designs,
more and more.
yeah, all new designs are pre-built. I saw a lot of you already utilizing the social media components to it, etc. So I wanted to make sure that you saw that overall. So here's what I would offer is you should go try it, which would be good. If you want a QR code, put it on it. There's a lot of innovation available. By the way, the one thing that we're doing right now is to get you more designs, more templates, more ideas as we continue to build. If we see you utilizing more, we're going to build more like that because we know that, hey, this was design number 1 was used 27 times and design number 2 was utilized 3. More people like design number 1. We build more like design number 1 for you. We want to give you a whole plethora of ideas and images. Now, I don't want to give you a 1,000 because then you have like the complexity of choice, but we want to have the best designs that you can quickly access and use. All right. Are we good? So here's what I'll do for those of you who I think I saw a couple of notes. With those of you who have not seen me go through that, if you give me a 0 in the chat if you'd like me to do a quick demo of it and just put it in our marketing center so you know how to actually how it works. Cool, awesome. So I'll make a quick like 2-minute video. That way you can share it with your team, you can share it with your VAs, you can share it with your marketing coordinator, you can share it with yourself, and it'll work overall. Awesome. All right, cool. A lot of integrations, etc. coming in that. Dre, anything that I missed that you would like to share?
No, I think it's great. I just want everybody to know that it's all available now. So the only thing that's not available, we've been very busy. The only thing that's not available is the brand new website and the state-by-state portals. Everything else is available now. The new logo, the new colors, the new marketing center, all of it, the design center with new integration, with all the new templates. And we're going to be continuing to evolve and add more templates and more designs.
Yeah, super cool. Awesome. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a D in the chat. Give me a D in the chat for Miss Dre Madden. So she did an awesome job, spearheaded this entire brand revamp. We appreciate you so much. So thank you so much for doing that. And all of this stuff is live right now. Cool. All right. If it's cool with you, I want to transition. If you are not paying any attention, you are sitting back and chilling out so far, which is totally good. I'm going to give you some listing centric education right now. So this is going to be a little bit of skill involvement. So give me 5 to 7 minutes of your concentrated time, and let me take you through one thing that we launched at Rise. Right. So we took this idea and we launched this idea called the $1 billion listing presentation blueprint. And I'm going to go full screen on this. I'm going to take this entire 1-hour presentation and give it to you in 8 minutes. All right. And give it to you in 8 minutes. So this is going to be, let me hit slideshow and it should be full. So let me hit slideshow, make sure y'all can see it. So can I get like right when this loads, give me 1 second. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see a full screen, just so I can a thumbs up, like a head nod or something. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ms. Miller. I appreciate you. I see you. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about the $1 billion listing presentation. I'm going to go through this really fast. All right. Here's what it is. The world has really changed, especially over the last 5 years. The world has really changed. And when you are sometimes feeling like it's definitely more competitive to get listings right now, and that's why I made this presentation for you, right? You also sometimes feel like there's so much you offer and it's so hard to convey it all in a single appointment. And that's why I made this presentation for you. In addition, I know that many of you feel like you get random objection in your listing appointments all the time. And that's why I made this presentation for you, because I realized that I had this one presentation framework that got us over $1 billion in listings. And you're like, Sharran, come on, is that really true? So here's a track record. So in the first 18 months, I went on 161 listing appointments. You won 152 out of 161, almost $457 million in listings taken. But then I was like, can I do better? So in the next 5 months, we made a bunch of updates and we went on 87 listing appointments. We won all 87, over $500 million in listings taken. This is in a 23 period across 22 different marketplaces. We took over $1 billion in listings, and we all the time we used this same framework. And the crazy part is this is the same exact framework that I used to beat Warren Buffett. Meaning I went on a listing appointment that was me against Warren Buffett for a $100 million listing, and we won. And so sometimes, I'll tell you that story about that another time. But most importantly, I want to tell you this. I'm not good because I've done something that you have not done. What I want to tell you is I'm kind of good because I have learned something that you may not have learned yet. And you may be wondering, well, Sharran, what do you know that I don't know? And I'll tell you what I know. After every single appointment, I sat down in my car and I wrote down every single question every single client has asked us. In fact, I have all the questions from 248 listing appointments. I guarantee no one else has that. 248 listing appointments in 22 different marketplaces, 100% cold. I had no relationship with any of these people. You're walking in a much better advantage than I am. So now I wrote down every single question every single client asked us during this appointment. And this is the proof. This is an appointment that I went on with an agent named Brian Johnson. It was 66 Gallery Place in Newport Beach. And I wrote down every single question every single client asked us. What you're seeing on the left is every single question that every single client asked us. So there has to be a pattern. So now I had to be like, there had to be a pattern with all of these questions. I had to find this pattern. And I did. And I found out there were top 10 questions that clients ask us. Would you like to know? Give me a 10 in the chat if you would like to know the top 10 questions that the clients are asking us. Right? Okay. So some of us want to know. Okay, awesome. Right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the top 10 questions. I'm going to give you the top 10 questions. Here are the top 10 questions. Right? The top 10 questions are these. So don't take a screenshot of these. I'll give you all of these. But the most important thing, what you need to know is not what the questions are, but what they're actually trying to ask. That's what I want to show you. That's why when I give you this presentation, you should not change it in any way. Don't worry about reading any of this. I'll actually tell you. I'm sharing screen, right? So here's the first question. It says, what qualifies you to sell my house? They're asking you about capability. Why does it feel so stressful? They're asking you about complexity. Do you have a buyer for my house? They're asking you for the result. What are you actually going to do? They're asking you for the process. Does marketing even matter? They're asking you about exposure. It all looks the same. Why is your stuff better? They're asking you that everybody's a commodity. Why does everybody claim that they're the best? They're asking you for proof. What can I sell my house for? They're asking you for pricing. Why does everyone do comps differently? They're asking you for market dynamics. And I'm not even sure. All of us say we're great negotiators.
Sharon, can you try and zoom in because it's blurred for everybody. And when you zoom in, okay.
I don't know how to do that. It's because these are Google slides.
But when you're zooming in, we can actually see the text.
Okay. I think you're right. I think it's blurred because of the number of people that are on. No problem. All right, I'll give you guys all these. I don't know how to make these better, so I'll give you guys all these slides. Thank you, Tamir. So let me see if I can make this a little smaller. Let me see if I can actually give you. Let me give you all of the answers right now. So that may be easier. So what we did was we engineered a 10-part presentation to answer all of these questions. And the cool 10-part presentation is this this book. We made this book that I'm holding in my hand right now. We made this book, and it's a simple book, and it takes you to each of the 10 parts. And you may say, well, Sharon, what does the book look like? So this is what the book looked like. It's available to you. It's a real specific book. So I know we have guests on the call. You can probably take pieces of this. I know you're going to, and that's totally fine. But 89% of this is built for real. Like this is the real value prop in all of these things. So you're going to see this book with all the pieces of the puzzle overall. So here's the book, right? And what I'm going to do is, so many of you are looking at this and saying, I know you, by the way. Many of you are looking at this book and saying, Sharon, I sell in Palm Beach, Florida. This architectural theme is not going to work for me. Here's the answer number one. Nobody cares, right? But nobody cares. You think about this more than you need to know. But most importantly, I know you. I know you need to feel good. I know you. So we're actually going to do 2 other themes to the book. There are going to be 3 themes. One with a broad-based architectural theme that you can utilize, which I tell you is what I would do if I were you. Second, we're going to do, if you're in the Silicon Valley or a techie-based theme, we got a techie-based theme. And then we have an all interiors theme, which you can't ever give me any excuses on. So we're going to have the themes. I speak agent, right? I know you're thinking about this. So all that will work. Now you may be asking this question, how do I know this will work for me? Well, for the last year, this has already been in place with agents around North America. And that's why we know that that's working for them right now. And so here's the question, right? Why don't you get any objections? So like, this is what the number one thing, when I go on appointments, the agents tell me, hey, Sharon, why don't we get any objections when you're in the appointment with me? And it's very, very simple. That it's because there are 3 reasons why you get objections. And let me tell you what they are. You probably want to write this down. Let me tell you what they are. The 3 reasons why you get objections are these. Your value prop is not clear enough. Your presentation is not good enough. And your brand is not big enough. Those are the only 3 reasons you get the most objections. Now, the best part is if Adriana showed up in the living room, the brand is big enough. She's already there. Now we just got to make sure your value prop is clear enough and your presentation is good enough. And I'm going to show you how to make your value prop clear enough and your presentation good enough. But here's the crazy part. We actually had one of my friends on stage, and this is a real live text message. The text message says, hey, bro, do you think Sharon would sell me his listing presentation? I'd wire him $25,000 right now. And then this other agent said, I guess, but his book is not going to win you more listings. He's like, why not? I heard it works in every market. And he says, bro, there is skill involved. Just because you have Tiger Woods golf clubs doesn't make you Tiger Woods, right? Like, it's the truth. But the crazy part is there is skill involved, and I'm going to show you the skill involved. What I'm going to show you is there's a way you actually do the appointment. And I'm not going to go through the entire way right now. Is that what I want to show you is there's a frame, there's an organization, and a transition. You got to frame everything. And I talked to you about scripting and framing, but you got to frame everything. So here's the interesting part. If this is the book, here's page 1, right? The how I would frame this is the frame on this page 1 is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, our goal is to bring you an unfair advantage by listing with us. We do that by plugging you into our track record of success. What I'm doing is I'm framing the track record that I'm going to tell them about. Then I actually tell them about the track record. I organize all the thoughts, and then I transition. And then I say, real estate is a game of contracts and power players. Let me show you how we navigate them. Now, the crazy part on all of this is I'm going to go off screen for a second, and I'm going to show you this. I recorded every single frame, every single transition, and every single talking point right for you live in what you're seeing right now, which is a Real Listing Toolkit in Real Academy. So everything is live right now. So what you're going to see is I'm going to go into the course curriculum for you for a second. Here's how you actually order the book right now. So you can get the digital flip book, you can get the screenshots of each page, or you can order the book if you would like. On the frames and the transitions, here's what I'm going to show you. I actually wrote down every single frame, every single talking point, and every single transition. So if you think that's crazy, let me actually show it to you so you get a sense of the depth of the knowledge. So here's what it is. Here's page 1, right? Here's the frame. Here's all the talking points. Here's the transition. By the way, you should not have to read them right now. Go to Real Academy and see them because you're not going to be able to read as fast as I scroll, right? Here's the frame. Here's the talking points. Here's the transition. Here's page 3. Here's the frame. Here's the talking points. Here's the transition. I did this for every single page, every single frame, every single talking point, every single transition. You need to be, Heather, I owe you that. So I have not forgotten, right? So every single page, every single transition. Now you may say, well, Sharran, how am I going to know how to do all of this? Well, I want to show you. In the frames and transitions flow, I recorded every single frame, every single transition in my actual voice going through the pages. So all the video is already there when it comes to this. So you can actually go through and watch.
Each of these pieces are important. There's no objection needed.
Cool. So you have all of these. And then we also built for you predefined buyer and seller plans that you can leave as a drop-off or drop-off materials if you would like. So we have special buyer and seller plans that are already there, four-page buyer and seller plans that are built that you can use as a lead magnet or drop-offs on buyer and seller plans as well. These are all live for you right now in Real Academy, right? So you should have all of this. Here's the best part. I am going to over between now and forever, I'm going to teach you how to do more of this stuff. So on Mondays, we have our down market playbook, which is our sales accelerator. On Tuesdays, we're launching our attraction accelerator. So going forward, every Monday and every Tuesday, Mondays are going to be sales, Tuesdays are going to be attraction. Every Monday and every Tuesday, I'm going to teach you how to do this stuff live with me. Right? So now you get a chance to up your skills and level up your game. And we're going to do this. We have to train to be better. Cool. So that's what that's all about. So if you have not seen where the listing presentation is and the listing toolkit is, I hope you get to see that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that link in the chat. And your goal is to just go take a peek at it today. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you.
We have it in here for you. Sure.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Do you want to share what the excitement in the room at Rise, how it became almost a riot to get the book?
Yeah, change the book. Do not change the pictures. Do not change the text. Do not change any of it. You know why? Because it was engineered to work a certain way based on 248 appointments and the tens of questions that people asked us. Your pictures are irrelevant. I'm telling you right now, the supporting materials are what you need to win. I will teach you how to do that, but do not change the book, right? If we need to upgrade the book from time to time and change the data, we will. But the book is said to be a flow piece, not a demo piece. And I want to show you how to use it. Cool. All right. Digital flow. If you guys want to do the digital flow with digital appointments, the link is already available. You can just grab it from Real Academy and use the link right now. So totally cool. It's all, we're not charging you for this stuff. By the way, the only reason like there's a charge for this is you're you're printing it at a printing house. Like Real's not making any margin on any of this stuff. All right, cool, awesome. All right, we good? I want to. We have just a few minutes, and I want to invite my partner, Miss Michelle Rustler, to the call. For those of you who don't know Michelle, she's our super cool CFO. I love working with Michelle because she understands the business really well. She understands the numbers really well, and she will tell you that she loves the commitment of each of our agents, because we know that it's not about the revenue, but it's about the lives that we change. So Michelle's going to talk about something that is very near and dear to her heart and Real's heart. So Miss Michelle.
Thank you. Hard act to follow as always. So when Real was founded back in 2014, I wasn't here, but Tamir had one simple idea, and that was to make agents' lives better. And that's what we strive for every day, to keep the agent at the center of everything that we do. And, you know, that's why we're building all these beautiful products and trying to make the process as easy for you as possible. But that's not enough. So we realized that, you know, over the past year, 2 years, as our network has continued to grow, that also means that our exposure has continued to grow. And so unexpected crises and natural disasters can be life-shattering. They can create an incredible amount of stress, physically, emotionally, and also financially. And so for that reason, we started One Real Impact. So One Real Impact is an assistance fund designed to support all of you, our agents, our most valuable asset in times of need. So at the conference, we launched this and we asked everyone to donate $30. We set out to raise $30,000, and you guys are in such, large support of one another that we actually raised $60,000. And so we want this out there. We want you guys to have a way to get the assistance that you need when you need it. Really excited to launch this. We partnered with a company called E4E Relief that offers a seamless end-to-end tech experience. If we're making real estate easy for you, we want to make this easy for you too. So we hope that you guys will all, continue to support one another and be there for one another in good times and bad. We are one network, and this is just another step in the direction to creating one family.
So good. Michelle, thank you so much. And I think that when you said to me that a lot of times where when we do a GoFundMe or something like that, there is a tax component to it. And so we wanted to find a way that the last thing we want is to raise money for somebody in need, and then now they only get 60% of all of it. So I think that was your commitment to saying, hey, this has got to be where all the proceeds go to who deserve it the most.
Exactly.
So good. Awesome. Michelle, thank you. Hey, everybody, give it up for my good friend, Miss Michelle Wessler. She's so good. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. We're very close to being done. Hopefully this is fun. I want to show you something because Michelle will love this, by the way. My friends, Brad McCallum and Tim Macy, bought the last available book of the listing presentation book for $10,000 as a gift to the One Real Impact Agent Assistant Fund. So super grateful for Brad and Tim to do that for us and to give overall. But you will not believe what happened. You will not believe what happened. So let me show you what happened. So if you notice something, there's something very interesting that's going on here, right? There's something very interesting that's going on right there. I am being asked to rerun for president. I don't understand this. I don't understand. It's not your biceps, Tim. Come on. My goodness. Right? So I had to rerun. I had to re-show my candidacy for presidency. But you know what happened after? Now, clearly, my partners want my job. We have Tamir and Dre 2024. Also, Pritesh and Jenna 2024. I don't know what's happening here, folks, but I'm having to defend my title. But at the end of the day, I got to tell you, I won. Thank you all for your vote. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much. All right, cool. But wait, there's more. We have just a few minutes. I want to take you through just a few more things very, very quickly. So you get more of what you celebrate. This is a Mr. Srivatsa. This is Sharon's dad classic. You get more of what you celebrate. And so we had an amazing celebration of awards. So we had a chance to celebrate our peers, our community in production awards and also in cultural awards. And this year we launched 4 very new special cultural awards that I want to share with you and highlight and recognize the winners of our cultural awards that were nominated and chosen by all of you. So Miss Shannon Gillette got our first cultural award on the Make a Difference Award. So Miss Shannon Gillette in Phoenix, Arizona, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything that you do. Mr. Jason Cassidy in San Diego, California, got our One Real Award. Jason's ability to be a great team player for his team, for his region, and for the entire company is unprecedented. So Jason, we appreciate you so much. Big Frank, my main man, Franklin Torres, he got the Work Hard, Be Kind Award this year. So excited, so grateful for him for all that he does to pour into the Leadership Advisory Board and every single agent that he touches. So big kudos to Mr. Franklin Torres. And I will tell you this, it's very, very difficult. Can we do in the chat, can we just give me a B in the chat for recognizing all our brokers? A B in the chat for recognizing all our brokers. Our state brokers work so hard to support us. Our state brokers work so hard to review our files. Our state brokers work so hard to keep us out of jail. Our state brokers work so hard to educate us the right way to do things. You don't realize how hard it is to be your state broker. I'll tell you right now. Like, you are crazy. And they are amazing. So thank you so much for supporting all our state brokers. It's very hard to pick a Broker of the Year award. However, our broker in the DMV in Northern Virginia, Maryland, and DC, our Broker of the Year award was to Mr. Dave Kolakowski. Dave had a really tough injury last year on his way to the One Real Rise conference and had to work through a lot of health stuff. And still stayed in bed, reviewed files, supported his agents like no other, and was able to be on stage to get his award this year. So Dave, we appreciate you. Thank you for being an amazing broker. Another award that many of you know, our dear friend Miss Sheila Dunnigan. Miss Sheila Dunnigan spent many years at Real and helped open several states and support many of us. And so we recognized Miss Sheila for Real's Lifetime Achievement Award. So big kudos to Miss Sheila for doing the amazing things of supporting us, growing with us. She's not going anywhere. She's fake retired, which means that she doesn't have to check email or Slack anymore, but she gets a chance to support the community, build a network, and still support all of you, which is super cool. Sheila already has an appointment on my calendar for she and her to work on an attraction team. So Sheila is a boss, which is super cool. All right. We good? We good? I have one last thing, and then I'll give you. It's amazing. Like, we stayed right on time. I'm gonna have one last thing, and we'll give you everything back. So before we go into every month at Real, for some of your guests, you probably don't know this. For every month at Real, we recognize our elite agents. Elite agents are our highest production folks in the ecosystem on a given monthly basis. We are in level 5, so we talk money. To be an elite agent, you have to cap and then pay $6,000 in fees. And once that happens, 2 amazing things happen. 1, Real turns around and says, thank you for being such a great producer. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you for crushing it. We're going to turn around and give you $6,000, $16,000 back in stock. And then there's also adjustments down in the per transaction fees, which makes it significantly more economically efficient for you to be at Real. The cool part about all of this is that I will tell you net, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, all our elite agents, you all should aspire to do that because we pay you to be at Real. That is like if you look at all the economics for every single elite agent, we pay you to be at Real. And that's how much we love you and we appreciate you. So it may be a little blurry, but I'm going to pinch and zoom and recognize our elite agents for the month of October. So here we go. Elite agents for the month of October. You probably can't read it. It's going to be blurry, but I'm going to go and scoot in and read each one of these. Mr. Dan Parker on the great state of California. Mr. Will Carter in Arizona. Mr. Dylan Jankovic in Texas. Dylan looking good at the suit there. Mr. Alex Arroyo in Oregon. Miss Molly Haynes in Washington. Mr. Riley Nichols in Alberta. Mr. Brad Burns in Texas. Go down here. Mr. Kyle Chernetsky in California. Mr. Josh Bernard in Washington. Pip, who doesn't know Pip, in New Jersey. Miss Terry Kelly in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, the multi-state lady. Miss Vicky Newfall in Virginia. Miss Mary Perez in California. Mr. Brian Crawford in New Mexico. Miss Nima Sherpa in South Carolina, and Mr. Joe Schwartzbauer in Minnesota. All right, a few more. Miss Lisa Milroy in Ontario. The man, Mr. Ray Allen in Arkansas. You should follow Ray on social media, by the way. He's hilarious. Mr. Jim Wilson in Indiana. The amazing Steve Freeman in the great state of Georgia. Mr. Philip King in California. Miss Hillary Lockhart in Alaska. Mr. Paul Pavia in Alberta. Mr. Mike Starr in Alberta as well. Cody Steck in Utah. Cody's a beast. Mr. Bo Davis in Mississippi. Mr. Kevin Cesario in California. Mr. Patrick Fields in Alberta. Miss Chelsea and Mike Burrell in Indiana. Mr. John Leonard in Minnesota. Jesse Rodriguez totally sandbagging it. I think he has like 110 active listings right now, which is crazy. Mr. Jesse Rodriguez in the great state of California. Mr. Justin Millett in Alaska. And Miss Jocelyn Bradley in North Carolina. Can we give let's do the letter E for our elite agents. E for our elite agents. Super big congratulations to our elite agents. Super big congratulations to our elite agents. This is so cool. I'm on time. This is awesome. This is fantastic. So I have two very quick updates for you. So let me show you. Update number one. The leadership team and I, we're planning the entire calendar of 2024 right now. So you're going to see several 2024 events, roadshows, etc. come out. So super excited to share that with you, which is going to be great. If you want to write this down, I'm going to be in Nashville, Tennessee on January 24th, launching Buyer Mastery. I'm going to do a full day event to take you through all the stuff that's going on with the NAR and how you can win more listings, how you can talk to more buyers, how you can do it in a compliant, neutral way, how you can get the commission that you want, and how you can run the process. So I'm doing Buyer Mastery kicking off in Nashville on January 24th. You will get the save the date, but FYI, save the date, Nashville, January 24th, Buyer Mastery with your main man. All right. So few things coming up. There's a few masterminds. So every Monday, we're going to have the Sales Accelerator, which was a down market playbook. Every Tuesday, we're going to have the Attraction Accelerator. So on Monday, we're going to talk about how to increase our business. On Tuesday, we're going to talk about how to build a great network. And then if you have a $100 million team or you're in Zillow Flex, I'm going to be reaching out to you because you're already part of it. We're going to do a $100 million team in Zillow Flex Mastermind. We're launching many more masterminds as well coming up that are specific to everybody. But our goal is here to be inclusive, but some of these you have to qualify for so that we can talk to the right people. So all of these coming your way as well. What should you be doing right now? Question about Monday and Tuesday. Monday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. The reason we do noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern is because it allows our Hawaii team not to have to wake up at 4 a.m. and it allows our East Coast team so that they're not, it's not at the end of the weekday. It's the only time that we can get everybody together. All right. So what should you do right now? Here are the 3 things you should do right now. Number 1, as you promised Pritesh, you should build your wealth plan right now. Number 2, you should go get your listing materials or at least go check it out to know where it is right now. And number 3, there's a lot of changes coming on with the DOJ and the NAR. You should really dial into your state groups right now because the information that is coming out of those groups are meant to protect you and protect your clients. Please, please, please. I know that the last thing you want to do is to open an email and look at compliance stuff from the state broker. I know you want to do it. I know you don't want to listen. I know you. But please, this is more important time than any other time because we want to make sure you're protected and we want to make sure your clients are protected in this situation. Whoever has better skill over the next 6 months in this arena will take the biggest possible lead in this process because everyone else is sticking their head in the sand and using the ostrich strategy and being like, I'll figure it out later. I want all of us to believe and understand that our skill in dealing with this new world is what is going to get us through all of this. Cool. All right. Before we go, I have one more thing. Tamir did shared this and he's gonna, I was talking to him about this and he said, hey, we should share this with everybody. And last year we announced this idea of willable revenue share. And the idea of willable revenue share is, let's say you're making $20,000 a month in revenue share, and let's say something happened to you by, God forbid, that $20,000 monthly revenue stream is automatically transferred to your heirs, right? So it's a chance for us to will that revenue share that you have chosen to build, the asset that you've chosen to build over time. Well, what is the next iteration of that? Well, we are a production-based company. We want to make sure that you are in touch with production to help your agents and help yourself. We also want to make sure that when you're in production, that's what revenue share actually is. Because a lot of people are like, oh, revenue share is hocus pocus. Well, revenue share comes from revenue, right? That's why production is important. No revenue, no share, right? That's why it's really important. But as you build a revenue share organization or a partnership or a team, we want to make sure that you can unlock this asset for yourself and take it with you into this idea of retirement. So if you choose to retire from production, you now can do that and keep your revenue share with you. Meaning, if you spent the first 3 years at Real and your revenue share is seasoned, then you get to keep 60% of your revenue share and no more production needed. If you're with Real for 4 years and your revenue share is seasoned, then you get to keep 80% of your revenue share with no production needed. And if you're with Real for 5 years and you choose to retire, you get to keep your revenue share because it's your asset without any associated production. But what we do ask is this. What we do ask is that revenue share comes from business partnership. Revenue share comes as a cradle of responsibility. Revenue share is our commitment to our group, our network, to saying that we will take care of them, we will support them, we will help them grow. So while your production requirements are waived, your support requirements are not. So I know that you care more for your network than anyone else. And so as of January 1, we will unlock this idea of retirement for those of you, and we will have that work through the process as well. So combined with willable revenue share and the idea of retiring from production, we want to make sure that your assets have the ability to be unlocked, and you can be a great Real evangelist and supporter with us forever. All right. We appreciate you. I hope this was good. We're right on time. What our leadership team will do is we'll stick around for a few minutes. If you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to share them. But I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope this was helpful to you. And we'll catch you all very, very soon. Eddie, you have a question, bud, or a thought or a comment?
Yes, please. It's about the retirement. I was asking Eric Axelson today, we just chatted about it. In terms of retirement, just because you're out of production, does it mean that you can no longer grow your organization, or are you still allowed to grow the organization and reap the rewards of the new ones?
So great question. Let's assume this. You still hold a license at Real, and there's a couple interesting things coming on with that to make it easier for you as well. Because some people don't want to be a part of board association, et cetera. We're gonna clarify that too. But assume that only the production requirement is waived. You can do anything else, taking advantage of everything at Real. So we hope that you would continue to grow the network. So thank you, Eddie.
Thank you.
Yeah. Miss Michelle, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. Hi, everyone. I want to share something. So I'm a firm believer. You insure your car, you need to insure your body. I have very expensive health insurance, and I've had it for a number of years. It's just my husband and I. When I jumped on the call with the insurance agent, I was stunned at how much it was going to save me. Like stunned. I have paid upwardly to $2,000 a month over the years for health insurance for just Andy and I. Yeah, and I want to premise this by saying I'm an older agent. And I say that because it costs us more. So it costs us a lot more than someone younger than us. But I'm a firm believer in having some sort of health insurance. So if you have not set up an appointment, when I tell you I'm saving close to $400 a month based off of what I was recently paying, short-term health insurance, every 6 months I had to renew. So it could vary between what I was paying now to $1,200 for the two of us. So if you equate that to how many closings I need to do a year to pay for that, right? So having good health insurance, and I asked all the questions. My dad was an insurance guy, so I asked all the right questions. I think it's a very solid plan. I think if you have not looked into it, please look into it. It's so important to have that, if for nothing else catastrophic. And I'm just thrilled. Like, I couldn't get to Real because, as many of you know, my daughter got married Labor Day weekend, and then my anniversary was the same basically week of Rise. And so I missed a lot of good things, but I want to thank you all for putting these things into play. You may not see the importance of it now, some of you, because I'm a mom of millennials, but I can assure you, having a wealth plan, having the opportunity to get this stock, please take advantage of that. Building your rev share, this all will add up and make your life a lot more comfortable down the road. So I want to thank you, Sharon, Dre, Michelle, Tamir, for putting these pieces into place, because this is why I came to Real 3 years ago, by the way. I'll be like anniversary March 1st, and hopefully I'll be capping soon because I'm getting pretty busy. So thank you again. I just want to share that because I don't know if a lot of people are really understanding the value that they're bringing in regard to the health insurance.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Hey, for those everybody, if you don't know what Michelle's talking about, is that we launched a healthcare benefits program both for US and Canada that's been live for a few weeks now, that have already saved people a lot of money. So if you're in the market for it, definitely check it out, because most people have gotten some great benefits from it. I see a couple of notes in the chat, especially those talking about our leadership team. I don't think all of you are familiar with the leadership team, especially the women on our leadership team. So if you didn't know, many of you know Tamir and me, so I appreciate that. You all know Pritesh Damani, our Chief Technology Officer, who drives our platform and technology vision. You just heard from Dre Madden, our Chief Marketing Officer. And so there is a lot more to design than happens in marketing. It is trying to line up our entire brand strategy and messaging and positioning and vision forward. Like that is it. Like Dre is really leading the bus on it. Michelle Russler, who is our Chief Financial Officer, who manages all the money, but manages the integrity of the organization along with the collaboration with Wall Street. Jenna Rosenblatt, who is our Chief Operating Officer, literally runs our business. And you have Miss Christian Wallace, who's our Chief of Integrated Services, who runs all our affiliate companies. So please know that, a big part of all of this is we have an insane leadership team, and the days of one person doing great things is done. There's no way that I could do everything. There's Tamir will be the first to tell you, there's no way he can pull off everything on his own. Yeah, we get to be the tip of the spear sometimes, but it's important for y'all to know the amount of love, care, and leadership that exists on the leadership team. So appreciate y'all very much for taking us through that. Was there another thought? I think there was another hand raised. Thought, question, feeling, comment. All right, going once, going twice.
Yeah, one last thing. Just a quick question. So for the healthcare insurance, I think I saw in the chat, that's the link. Where do I go to check that out for the healthcare insurance?
Yeah. Jay, we have
I just posted it above. It's
yeah. Okay.
You have to do the HTTPS, but it's that www.realagentbenefits.com. That's for the US. And we do have Canada too. We can post that very shortly.
realagentbenefits.ca.
There you go.
Cool. Perfect. Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
And this is brand new. We have dedicated third-party broker that's working with you directly to find the right plan for you. So it's really a concierge kind of service with discounted rates on the US side, and it's supplemental on Canada side. So we're just trying to make sure we provide a really great experience for our Canadian agents.
And I just also add, when I spoke to Ronnie, I said, dude, my health insurance expired like 2 days ago. I need it yesterday. And he goes, no problem. And we got it started November 1st, even though we were like right on that timeline. So when I tell you, he takes it very seriously, he knew where I was coming from and really got it through quickly. He got it through quickly.
Amazing. Thanks. Amazing. All right. Since you're still with us, appreciate you. Here's one thing I'd say. You can do this and then you can jump off. What was the one thing that we talked about today that you were like, that's pretty cool? What was one thing that you talked about today that you were like, that's pretty cool? Just drop that in the chat, and then we'll give you your morning back. What was the one thing we talked about today? Come on, Ted. Got to pick one, bud. One thing. You can do two. You can do 3. One thing we talked about today that you like. Listing book, wallet, wealth plan, get the listing stuff, which is cool. Agent facing app, which is awesome. Sales accelerator, wealth plan stuff. Dre for president. Yes. She doesn't want this job, by the way. I'll tell you right now. She doesn't.
I can't do the job. You're doing. But by the way, I never thought that debate like that was for a real president. I thought that was just president as a whole. So
of the world?
Yes. So that's what we were rooting on. Anyway, I was so excited. And then, by the way, I have the brand colors on Tamir and my stuff. So we're within our compliance.
You're the brand guidelines. That was good. That was good. Tech updates are good. Able to will revenue share. That's good. Listing book. Good. Energy. Good. Attraction accelerator. Yes. Ted, thanks, pal. All right. Everything that we do at Real is recorded. Everything that we do at Real will be recorded and in Real Academy. So you can just search and it'll all show up. All our materials that we share is there. Everything that we build is for you guys. So there's no reason to hoard anything. Everything is in one place. You have to be in Real Academy.
It made me think, I want to put an email together with all the listing presentations that you can see from Rise. So you can actually see like what we presented and you can have the experience that we had on stage. So we'll get that to you guys too. Just keep an eye out for our emails because we'll have everything packaged up with a bow.
Super cool.
Hey, Tron?
Yes, sir. Oh, is this Miss Richard? How are you?
Yes. Good. For the first time, something really worked, even for agents that are still not attending these meetings. But y'all sent a text out, and it went to everybody, went to our phones, and then you put us live on YouTube. You couldn't get into the Zoom. I just want to let you know that worked. That's the first time I've seen a text go out to remind you if you can't get in here, go to the YouTube live. So keep doing that.
Awesome. Hey, kudos. This is great. My goodness. Normally, Sandra, normally my inbox is just filled with pain. Thank you for I'll tell you this one story and I'll let you go. So this can I be ultra personal? Just give me like a nod. Can I be ultra personal with you? So my wife, when we were getting married, my wife was talking to my mom and dad. My wife said to my mom and dad, hey, so what's the secret to like making this crazy dude like happy? And my mom said, he just needs an attaboy like once a month. Just once a month. Just give him like a hug. Tell him he's doing good once a month. He's good for like 30 more days. Right? And then 30 days later, you'll see a little energy drop. Give him one more attaboy. And then you're good for 30 more days. Secret to a successful marriage. It's been 13 years. And I've got 156 attaboys. It's been great. So thank you for the attaboys, Sandra. It totally made me feel amazing today. I appreciate y'all so much. Hey, thank you so much for letting me share. We went over a little bit, but I hope this was helpful to you. Big thank you to Tamir and Pritesh, Michelle, Dre, the entire marketing team, Jenna and Christian, all supporting us to make this all happen. We appreciate y'all so much.
Can I make one last thing? For those that didn't get it to make it to Rise, this year, we announced Rise 2024 will be October 22nd to the 24th. So please save the date. We will not tell you where it's located yet. And we are not sending out ticket. We're not giving you ticket availability. We did for the Rise folks, and then we'll be sending out. You'll just keep up to date. We'll be putting tickets on sale at some point in the future. But we wanted you to save the date so you know not to make any plans because we want to see you there next year, 2024.
All right. Hey, we appreciate